Live from the Manassas office, we'll be interviewing small business consultant Dan Strickland. He wants to make a grand entrance this afternoon. So we want to welcome him. Dan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great.
Good. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Got my business partner, Tamaris Reynolds, aka T, in the building. And so we're going to roll right through this interview. So the theme for this interview is just talking about small businesses. We also deal in finances, financial services. And so we're just going to be having a conversation like we're at Starbucks with Dan, picking his brain, getting his background, because we know that there are people out there who work jobs that they may not necessarily like. And so trying to figure out how to move on from that place but not knowing exactly where to start. This is where Dan specializes. So we actually met through Periscope, so how great would it be to do an interview on the place where we met?
Absolutely. Perfect idea. Perfect idea.
So Dan, can you introduce yourself?
Absolutely.
Tell us your background.
Good afternoon, Periscope. Good afternoon, Facebook Live. Good afternoon, Hand in Hands, Periscope. It's good to see you guys. I'm Dan with STI Solutions, and I'm the managing partner here in our Manassas branch. A little bit about what I do is I am the principal consultant here on small business development, as well as talent management and acquisitions. So that's a little bit about what we do. STI Group as a whole is the conglomerate, and to service our clients better, we actually moved out here to our Manassas branch to serve them a lot better, and to move to that point on the social media. You will see me a lot on the social media. I have been dubbed the face of STI, which I try not to be, but I'm definitely going to be, because it's a huge marketing tool. It's a very good marketing tool. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at.
Awesome.
Don't want to get into too much, you know. Not yet. Not yet.
So I guess just tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started.
Absolutely. So STI Solutions has been around long before I was there. My background is Army. Okay. 8.5 years I did in the Army. Great stuff. I loved it quite a bit. And then shortly after leaving there, I went into an insurance type industry, right? I believe we've talked about the bail bonds, and for those of you there who are not familiar with what bail bonds is, it's literally the financial or monetary release of a person who is incarcerated, and the monetary portion is either forfeited or retained based on whether the person who you got out of jail goes back to court and is serves their sentence, or is adjudicated, or is relieved of those burdens. So that's what I did for a very long time. My reputation in that industry was building that company from a small, very, for people, small business to a $23 million company in just over 4 years. And we were able to do that with hard work and dedication, but I will explain a little bit about that later on, and how we can take a business that is this size, whether it's in your home or in your basement, your home office, on your couch, and actually putting you in a storefront, putting you in front of those customers, reaching those levels that you dream about, you know, that our small business owners always dream about. So after that was done and those successes were made, minor successes, I was offered an opportunity here at STI Solutions, and I worked my way up, and then recently in January I was promoted to managing partner here at the Manassas branch. And so with that, they said, well, Dan, why don't we just give you what you love to do, and that is building small businesses in this area. So super excited, super excited about it, super.
And that's a great segue. So for people who are interested in transitioning from being an employee to being the employer, the boss, so to speak, where do you start with those people? What is some advice you give for somebody just starting?
That's a good, I'm glad that was great. because that is, I'm going to go crazy here and give you the 80 percentile basis of what we deal with, especially on the small business side. What we're dealing with here is what you just said. People who've either been in the industry. The vice president of TD Bank was in here yesterday, and she had asked me, well, Dan, what would you do with me if I left this bank tomorrow? How would I be able to make money? And I told her, Judge, we got to start a bank, right? But here's how we do it. When we're moving from this employee to management owner phase, is a huge jump. Whether you have been in your specific industry, taking that person who's been in this industry for 20 years and is retiring and wants to go do it on their own, right? Make more money, not for the boss, make money for themselves. In that specific case, it is a big jump. It's a huge jump. They're used to paychecks every 2 weeks. They're used to maybe one or two managers or supervisors. Now they are running the show. How do we do this? You asked. That's a great question. We systemically teach these people, the entrepreneurs, the new business owners, we teach them how to think like a boss and be a boss. Here's how. Oftentimes when someone wants to start a business, they say, oh man, I love baking cakes for a living. That's great. Congratulations. I love cutting grass. I'm so good at cutting grass. Well, that's wonderful. Love you. Here's where we find ourselves in a pickle. And I said that because I couldn't say something else. Here's where we find ourselves in a jam. If we are out here in the streets doing what we love to do, which we did for the employer, how, who, when are we managing the business? If you're out there cutting grass all day long, you've worked for ABC Landscaping for 20 years, and now it's time for you to do it on your own. So you go out here and you cut grass. You're practicing what you like to do. You're not running a business. You're out there cutting grass. Who's doing payroll? Who's doing accounting? Who's marketing? You see what I'm saying? Who's advertising your business? Who besides the guy who you just cut the grass for knows that you own your own business? We can't do that, folks. We have to gradually move from practicing what you do to being an owner, to managing what you do. Oftentimes, people will come to me, just like we talked about it earlier, a franchise has come and said, Dan, we're experiencing problems. Okay, great. How long have you been in business? They've been in business for as long as people work to retire. Quite a long time. And for the life of me, I'm saying, how is it possible that you could need my service as well? It was time that this young lady, I'll say that, to make a jump. She's ready for retirement. But she felt deep down inside she couldn't. She didn't want to leave her baby behind, something that she had built with her husband for the last 30 years. So what do we do? Did we follow the steps? Did we manage the business correctly? Now I'll give her credit. It's a profitable business. They've been in what they call $1 million circle for quite some time. But there's also a $10 million circle, and there's also a $20 million circle of which they've never been to. They've never been to that conference. How is that so? Business processes and management is a key focal point in any operation. If we do not move things in our business, in our lives, personal, spiritual, I don't care, we cannot grow. There's a huge staffing problem that they have. Similar to other businesses, if you have a group of people that have worked together their entire career, but there was that one guy that just kept moving up the ladder, right? What now happens when that guy is second in command? And the people that he grew up with in the trenches, in the field, working every day, no longer respect that authority. They don't respect that chain of command. What do? Well, I have a problem with you. And because I have a problem with you, I'm going to circle around and go straight to my boy I've been with for the last 25 years.
Right.
We did not follow the system. So, what I told both of them equally is we need a regime change. You need fresh blood. You need some fresh meat. Right. Your business practices that you started 30 years ago are still with some of the staff members, your workers, 30 years ago. They are taking these implementations, they're taking these processes, and they carry it with them throughout their career. But as you and I know sitting here, business changes every day.
Yeah.
The way things are done every day. We can take credit cards on your phone. On your phone. You can ask for a loan online and get a response in minutes. Business changes. Laws change. Taxes change. Shouldn't our business processes change as well? Should we not grow with the times to be as successful as the times are? So to answer it, and I know it was a really long response, but that's what it takes sometimes so everybody gets the full picture, is that we have to be ready to make those decisions in any business. I don't care if you own a cake business. I don't care if you do taxes on the side. I don't care if you cut grass, you know what I mean? Or you just do social media marketing for people from your pajamas in your living room. If we want to grow as people, as businesses, as organizations, change must come. We must be ready for the change. We must be able to embrace the change. And then we have to accept it. There are businesses today that in their first week or two of change, they would call and cuss us up. Dan, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't. But what is the word I'm hearing? I can't. What do you mean you can't? What does that even mean? If you've been in business for 15 years, I don't want to hear I can't. Because those customers kept coming back. So obviously someone in the room is doing something right. Because they keep coming back. The reason why you can't is because you never have. If someone says, I can't do that, 9 times out of 10, they've never done it before. In this case, I know they've never done it before because they called me. So when I say accept the change, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? There are times in this business where I can come into my office at 12 in the afternoon, after I go to the gym and do what I want to do. I'll stay till 6 or 7. Right. Or there are times where I have to be here at 8 and I will stay till 10 or 11. Do I like that? No. Dan loves coming in for 4 and 5 hours, getting stuff done and going home. I got babies. I love them. But there are times, like right now, we're in the middle of a busy season, where we have clients calling left and right because the immigration cycle is coming through and things are happening. People are scared. So on the staffing component of what we do, we are super busy, crazy busy. That is going to require more of me. It's going to require more of this branch. And in turn, that's happening all over STI Group, is that these things, these changes are coming down the pipeline, and leaders within the organization, partner and above, leaders are having to change what they do. Now, we've been in business for quite some time. Right. We have made successes all over the place, all over the country. We've made successes. And we, too, still have to make changes. So it's not just the small guy, it's not the big guy, it's not the middle guy. Everybody, if we want to see improvement, we're looking at revenue growth. We're looking at growth in general, growth in your business, your practices. Change has to come, and we must accept it. If we do not accept it, you will fail. The money that you paid me is no good. I'm not giving it back. And you are going to continuously hemorrhage revenue everywhere you turn. If growth is an option, I say take it. Because opportunities don't come all the time. You as business people here, we understand that even for our clients, there are opportunities that we tell them take it, right? We as practitioners need to understand that too, that there are times where we must encourage change. You know, the lady told me, well, Dan, my employees come in every morning and all they do is be and complain. They bleep and complain all the time. I said, okay. And then she said, well, I even got on a camera in the front office so I can hear what they're saying and they can see me and they can stop that. I said, whoa, booby, whoa. I said, that's not going to change a bleep thing. It's not. Those people are the way they are because of the culture in that environment. Right. If somebody has the balls, Periscope, I apologize, but if somebody has the balls to walk up to an owner or a senior level of management and demand something, you've got a problem. You've got a problem. I'll be damned if I walk to my boss and say no. And they'll be damned if they walk to me and say no. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That is the culture we have promoted and fostered here. Right. Is that sometimes there's time for discussion and other times it's, let's go. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But this is change, gradual change that must happen. So she asked me, she said, Dan, what do I do? You know what my first response was? Get rid of them. Right now. That is the cancer in your organization. That is the cancer in your business. Right now, these people are hemorrhaging your dollars. Mm. I said, how much do they perform a day? She'll say, 2 or 3 projects. Right. How much did they used to perform? 5 or 6. That's a problem. That's a problem, guys. That's a problem. How do we fix it? We can try mediation. We can try arbitration. We can try policy. Get rid of it. Now. Whatever is holding you back from growth and success, get rid of it. I don't care who it is. Get rid of it. That is what's holding you back. The answer is there. I can't do it, Dan, because of this. I can't do it, Dan, because of that. Okay. Do you know what this is? Yes, I do. Oh, okay. Can you get rid of it? Not really. Okay, move around it. Next. Next motion on the docket. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's a mindset. It really is a mindset. But to answer your question, we have to, these are established businesses that I just gave you examples of. Established. Been there a long time. To bring this back full circle, we have to get that entrepreneur, that practitioner, to think like a business. I don't care about your client's taxes. I really don't. I don't care about your client's yard. I don't care about your client's anything. I care about your business. If we are not profitable every step of the way, get out of my way. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
So this is a culture shock to a lot of people. They never thought it could be this easy and difficult at the same time.
Right.
Getting money isn't really hard. Maintaining it is the key. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And sometimes, so the advice to them would be, if you're ready for the change, let's talk. Let's have that conversation. Let's get together. Let's get on the phone. Let's talk about it. Let's strategize about it. Let's make sure that you are ready for the jump. Let's make sure that you're ready to actually start that business. You see what I'm saying? And are you ready to change your mindset? Does that make sense? I think as a business person, I think differently than a lot of people I'll ever encounter. You know what I mean? They say, why does this cost X, Y, Z? It could be anything. And I will tell you the process from A to Z and how they got to that price. Right. They don't like it because they just want to complain and cry. But getting myself into that mindset is a transition. It's a change. And that is what we will do with that person who's ready to be a small business owner.
That's good. And before we transition to the next question, I just want to highlight 3 things that I took away from what you just said.
Awesome.
1, having the right people.
Yes.
2, actually measuring their productivity and their results so you know how valuable they actually are.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
then thirdly and lastly, more importantly, is taking the emotion out of business and just looking at it
there can't
in
be
black
emotion.
and white.
I understand you're going to lose money. You're going to lose it. I'm telling you. I've lost it. You're going to lose it.
Yeah.
The idea then is not get pissed off and throw shit. The hell's that going to do? Now you just wasted more money breaking whatever the hell you just broke. You got to go out and buy it again.
Right.
We take this anger and we channel it.
Mm-hmm.
We channel that. Take it. When I can't wait till we get to haters. My God. But you take this anger and we focus. I'll train you how to do it. You focus this on your business. Focus it on what you are passionate about. And make it work. Make it work. Getting mad is not going to do a thing. I don't care who any of you are. Getting mad that you lost money isn't going to do a thing. But I will measure your success based on your failure and then your comeback. That's how I'm going to judge a business owner. Absolutely. No emotion. Don't. You can be passionate like Dan, but that's just Dan. But when it comes to business, we cannot have emotion. We just cannot. It is, guys, listen, let me tell you something. It is money in, money out. There is no in between. I promise you that. You can talk to the Department of Treasury, you can talk to the IRS, talk to the FDIC, or any bank you want to talk to. There is no gray matter in this discussion. It is money in, money out. That's it. That's what we're here for, guys. You know what I mean? That's my 2 cents.
Absolutely, man. So I guess when you're building and growing a business, what's the best way to go out and get clients?
Oh, for me, I love it. Social media. I didn't used to think that, but now I definitely do.
That's the new wave now.
It is a wave, and I got on top, and I paid for it. But I would say that the best thing, you know what? Here is something, too. I'm going to break the mold with this. This is probably against what any business person ever told you, or franchise, or scam, or whatever the hell we're calling it today. This is what they told you to do, and I'm going to tell you not to do it. Do not go sell to your friends or your mama. That is the worst. When you have just started a business, when you have just started finding yourself in your passion, or actually embracing your passion, executing your passion, and then making money off of it, that's always good. You are the most impressionable at that time. You are the most impressionable at that time. Those people, your friends and your family, 9 times out of 10, this ain't for everybody, 9 times out of 10, they have no idea what they're talking about. They don't. I've lost money. I'm telling you. They have no idea what they're talking about. I want you to go out there and I want you to sell to somebody you've never met in your life. I want everybody to take out a notebook right now. On TV or whatever we're on. Take out a notebook. I want you to write this down. Monday is Money Making Monday. Tuesday is Double Down Tuesday. What is Double Down Tuesday? Double down the efforts from last week. Wednesday, yesterday, Wolf of Wall Street Wednesday. That's where we have a Wolf of Wall Street moment. Do some stuff you ain't never done before in your life in business. Get out there and close that client you've never closed before. Get out there and get in front of those people who hate you and sell to them. 4, Triple Play Thursday. Triple Play Thursday. That means whatever you didn't do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you triple down on Thursday. And Friday, since we're on live, I say effing Friday. If you ain't closing Monday through Thursday, take a break, come back on Monday. Okay? Once we take this into account, and as our mantra is every day, and I do it. Look at my Periscope. Look at the YouTube. I do it every single. Yesterday, I had a Wolf of Wall Street moment. I never in my life closed a speaking deal for a nonprofit organization. They reached out to me, hey, Dan, can you blah? I'm asking him, her, what I do? How much you charge? They ain't got no money. How much I charge? I said, you know what? She left a number. It's Wolf of Wall Street Wednesday. Do something we've never done before. So now what? What do you think it is? I called her. I said, hey, this is Dan. We just spoke on email. Oh, hi. She said, which one are you? I said, the cool guy up top. She laughed. Got to know her. Got to see who she was. And she said, Dan, how much do you charge? And I told her, I said, you know what? I said, your job is hard enough. Getting an event together, 500 plus people. Yeah. Arenas or venues, food, all this crap. I said, why don't we get on the phone sometime this week, next week, just talk about a price that we can all walk away with. I've never done that before in my life. But I believe in what I've been taught. Wolf of Wall Street Wednesday. If we use this, we can become profitable. But we have to have a system that guides us. Some people, their ruling guide is the Bible. Some people, their spouses. Some people, their work schedule. But we all go by something. We here choose to go by the Monday through Friday mantra. That motivates us to do what we've never done before. If we give ourselves a cause, we can fight for that cause. If we give ourselves a reason, we have a reason to do it. Mm-hmm. But if our businesses, our small businesses, if we cannot break our regular selves, because when we're talking about marketing, you're talking about doing shit you ain't never done before in your life, right? If you worked for Fortune 500, you work for Fortune 500. I worked for the Fed. Have we ever marketed? Maybe ourselves for promotion, right? A lot of us here, we've never marketed before. So we have to be willing to do things that we've never done before. I've never talked to a nonprofit and sold myself. Right. I'll sell our consulting services in building your nonprofit. We will talk about revenue growth and maintaining relationships, fostering environments of success. We can talk about that all day. But speaking at an event to a nonprofit. But if I want extraordinary results, then I must provide extraordinary action. Does that make sense? I can't say, well, you know what? Today I'm going to get to work earlier and still leave at 8:30. How does that make sense? How are you going to leave work at the same time every day but tell yourself you're going to get there earlier? No. You're going to have to leave earlier every day to get to work earlier, which means I'm going to have to provide extraordinary action to get my extraordinary results. A lot of that is found in our practicing of marketing, whether it's social media. STI has never done Periscope. I did. Our media team said, hey, Dan, this is a new thing. Go try it. I tried it. First couple of videos, 800 live views. Holy Batman, this is what we got to do. Does that make sense? We have to do things we've never done before. Leave family and friends out of it. Unless they are giving you money, unless they are legitimate partners on paper, don't. You're impressionable. They could say something that might rubbed the wrong way. Yeah. Business and family oftentimes finds itself in a predicament. That's why you don't see a lot of family-owned businesses today, because of it. And so, when we first start out, the first thing we have to do is market, right? You can't be like, hi, I'm Dan, and I'm going to sell. You want to buy something from me? They're like, who the hell are you? What the no, get out of my face. I'm here to shop at Walmart, right? Or whatever. But we have to realize and understand here, we are not going to be as experienced. Does that make sense? So people who mean a lot to us, like family and friends, we might get hurt and jaded. Now we're jaded. Just started a business and now you're jaded. No. Get out. Bye. Bye. In today's world, our small business owners, I don't care how old you are, 65, 70, or 18. I don't care. We have to be able to market to people we've never met before. We can do the target marketing analysis. We can do business intelligence on the competition, sending people in and acting like their customers, whatever. We can do that. And that's good. It's good practice. I mean, we talk about that a lot. But the best way to market is to just go out there and talk to people you've never talked to before in your life. They don't know if you're telling the truth. Right. They don't know that this is really how the product's supposed to be sold, not like this. They don't know. They don't know. They have no idea. If you are confident in what you have to do, if you believe, if it's a product, jewelry, we have a few clients that do jewelry, if they believe in their jewelry, if they believe in their product, who's to say they're wrong? True. If we create a need, not a real need, you know what I mean, but just a need, a small one, and we compound our interest on that small need, like the media does all the time. Yeah. There's a small problem, but then we keep talking about it. Now all of a sudden, what is it? A big problem. If we have a small need and we talking about it, oh man, I know we're talking about McDonald's, but your knee, I can't believe that your knee hurts so bad. Does that make sense? We keep compounding our interest on the problem. What we now end up doing is putting a spotlight on that problem. And here you are with the solution. You see? It doesn't have to be difficult. We don't have to spend $500 a week on marketing. Or one guy quoted me, like, for just this branch alone, it's like $17,000 for 3 months of people calling. Lead setting. I said, what the? For 3 months, 17 grand? Please, go somewhere. You know what I mean? And who picks up the phone these days? Not me. So, we could have taken that money and put it somewhere else. The point being here is, it doesn't have to be expensive. I'm not saying go door to door. I've done it. Right. I'm not saying go door to door. That's a very harsh way to learn the world of sales. Good way, but very harsh. But we have to put ourselves in situations that create a need. You already have a solution. Now we have to find our target. Who is the person that we can expose the need to? You know what I mean? Have you seen that video on YouTube? I love it. I've heard on Facebook. It's the young kid who knocks on the door and he has like a window cleaning thing. The man who walked outside the door that day, I promise you, didn't care about a window in the house. Because he said in the video he has a cleaning service. So he's not worried. So what did the kid do? What did that sales guy showed him there was a need that was never there before. Oh, see? It's dirty. And you look at the guy's reaction. He's like, oh my God, yeah, it is dirty. Yep. Even though I just saw you do it, it's dirty. Oh my God. What are we going to do about it? Whoa! We found the need. Where's the solution? It was right there in his hand. Oh, well, if you just... Done. Do you see what I'm saying? What did he do? He didn't go door to door. but he exposed a need. He rapidly had a solution. Now, I don't know if the guy's window was dirty or not. Probably wasn't, because it said he has a cleaning service. But the guy legitimately put his hand on the window and created a need. And the guy really didn't even notice it. He was like, oh my God, it is dirty. Wow, you just did that, but yeah, it's dirty, right? And that's what we have to do today. Is it disruptive? Absolutely. Absolutely, it's disruptive. But because of advertisement on TV is taken by big corporations, as small businesses, we have to be disruptive. We have to do things that no one else has ever done before. I don't want you to wrap a car. Don't get a big old truck and put your name on the side of it. That's ridiculous. What I'm talking about is hacks, life hacks. Go on to YouTube and in the comments, just copy and paste your video. And it'll just pop up and it'll count as a view. Did you know that?
Wow.
And it was free. Looky there. Well, that's like $500 you just got for free. But it's disruptive. Is that not disruptive?
Yeah.
It is. When people say, well, Dan, these people over here cost that much, right, on the staffing side. How much do you cost? Oh, okay. I'm going to completely ignore your question because you're not even ready for my response. But what I will do is build you up so you are ready for my response. How do you do that, Dan? Good question. So what we do is we build that relationship in 5 minutes. I'm going to know your kids' names, birthdays, everything in like 5 minutes. Once that's done, I'll say, oh, sorry. To answer your question, here's what I want to do. Let's go back inside. Show me the numbers the other guys are giving you. I'll drop it. Done. As a business owner, as a partner, nobody wants to sit here and do bids and RFPs all day long. They don't. Oh, these guys, well, they're 16, and those guys are like 16, 25, but these... Stop. Go away. Sit down. Go eat lunch. Disruptive marketing is saying, well, if they charge 16, right, let's take it in at $14.75, 15 tops. Let's settle. What do? Oh, shit. I'm going to be on time for dinner tonight. That's all they care about. People who are in charge of giving the money away. That's all they care about. You as an entrepreneur, you as the business owner, you as someone who's responsible for bringing money into your organization, that's what you need to be practicing. Disruptive marketing. Don't be like everybody else. Oh, but Dan, they said that I should get business cards and I should get flyer. Yeah, great, wonderful. How much money has that brought in? Do you see what I'm saying? Should I put an ad in the paper? How many times do you read the paper? Stop doing things, A, that people have no business telling you what to do. B, things that people did 30 years ago. Don't do that. It's dumb. That's negligent. It's ignorant. We cannot continue to call ourselves 42% of the GDP, which we are. We cannot continue to call ourselves the backbone of America, which we are, if we don't act like it. I'm not saying it's a war against corporate America. We lost. But what I am saying is that we can still make money. We can still be profitable. We can still get the yacht, that's what I want, or the house, or the Bentley, or the Rolls Royce that you wanted. The question here is, how are we going to go about doing it? And marketing is right, because no one's going to know who the hell you are without telling them. But how we market, that's the tiebreaker there. How we market. My answer is disruptively. Do everything you can within your legal power to disrupt your market. You're going to get emails. People are going to hate you. I'll save that speech for the next question. But people will hate you. But at the end of the day, you make money. Your kids are fed. Your mortgage is paid. Your car is paid off. Your community loves you because you're donating money to their organizations. Do you see what I'm saying? This is how we do it. That's how you do it.
Awesome. So you answered my next question.
Awesome. How do we do that?
I'll tell you how.
Disruptively, I'm sure.
Yes, because you talked about how a company wanted to charge you $17,000 for 3 months worth of work, and you decided not to do it, but how you handle or the solution that you provide to having that marketing is to go out and disrupt the market. One thing you also talked about too, family members. So my mentor said if your product or service is not good enough for other people to buy it, then you need to find something else. So I don't know what entrepreneurs are advocating for people to start with their family members and friends, because we can't rely on them to support our business.
Absolutely. To answer that, so any of the, I don't want to call them marketing schemes because then we get sued, but any of these pyramid type things, right? If you're selling knives, not giving any names out, or you're selling bathtub fit-ins, right? A lot of these pyramid schemes, right? Or make money online with social media, these schemes. The first thing they tell you to do is try your friends and your family, your parents. Here's the why. I'm going to tell you 2 reasons to step away. 1, you haven't tried the product and the product ain't yours in that situation. Somebody else's. You just came from a 2-hour training seminar and you are pumped up. It is like mental crack and you're going crazy. What if that product sucks? What if that product really isn't what you thought it was going to be? Oftentimes we find that. As I said, not to get on a political stance, but as I said the other day, deadly mistakes must happen in order for society to grow. Soldiers every day die. And from that we benefit not only the honor and sacrifice they made, but we benefit from the mistake that was made. So we no longer make that mistake. Right or wrong. I mean, and oftentimes it must be deadly. In business, there are deadly mistakes that are made every day that we have to learn from. Oftentimes, our businesses grow from the mistakes that we made in business. Maybe I shouldn't have said that to so-and-so. Maybe I should have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have sold that package, but I really should have coupled it with this package.
But you can't even recognize the opportunity in that.
Exactly. Is that, what if that mistake was on your friends and family? Now remember, we are relying on them to support us. Right. Mentally, emotionally, sometimes financially. Right. But we just screwed them over. Oh, well, that's okay. I still love you. My ass, said nobody. They don't. They no longer believe in your product. They no longer believe in what you're doing because you sold them a shitty knife or they slipped in the bathtub, whatever. Or even your own product because you don't know how to sell it, or maybe you upsold it a little bit and it's not everything it was supposed to be. Right. Does that make sense? Entrepreneurs are going to make mistakes. Small businesses are going to make mistakes. I make mistakes every day. Thank God for staff. But I learn from those mistakes and I improve either the sales tactic, right, or a closing tactic, or a, oh shit, I fucked up, I'm sorry tactic, right? That happens. That's going to happen. We don't want it to happen to friends and family. We need them as a base. We need them as a foundation. We need them as support. And so if we are turning around and bashing them with terrible products or terrible services, you've just lost your base. What the hell are you going to do? Does that make sense? Does that answer the question?
Yeah.
And this is, sometimes it works. It works, Jeneé. Sometimes, you know, people, oh, I sold to my mom. She sold all her friends, and all her friends told all her. Okay, great, wonderful. You know, you have like this huge ocean of just people who love your crap, like a fidget spinner. But here's the thing, right?
I just heard about those.
Yeah, those are crazy. So here's the thing, though. The thing is this, is that when we are talking about a product that we're passionate about, we need to make those mistakes. It's I don't give a shit who told you. You need to make those mistakes. I'm glad that my staff makes mistakes. Because later on in the tenure, in the life cycle of STI, later on in their professional career, they will get bigger and better clients. I'd rather you mess that up now with the medium to small size fish and be perfect when the Fortune 100s and 200s come banging on your door because you are their problem fixer.
Right.
You are their, oh shit, we fucked up, can you fix it, guy? You know what I mean? Emma Ferreira, I love that lady so much. She is she's a famous celebrity artist out of LA. And she wrote me the sweetest note that anybody could have ever written me. It was just a few sentences long. What I took from the note was, Dan, you make shitty situations less shitty. We love you. Think about that. That is, I want to put that on my card. That is so true about what we do. But how was I able to get someone like her and the problems at that level that they have to become less of a problem of what they have? Does that make sense? And that's because along the way, as business owners, as entrepreneurs, we have had experience in F-ups with the smaller guys.
You're using the right toilet paper too.
Yeah, and we were, okay, let me fix this next time, I'm so sorry, right? So when we get to people like that, it's easy, right? Not big leagues, but it's easy. It's easy. You know what I mean? So no, stop selling to your family, stop selling to your friends, because if it's a product that you don't like, if it's a product they don't like, you're going to be jaded. Absolutely 100%, and just throw it away and you're going to have to start something new.
Awesome. So I guess from all of your mistakes and dangerous moments, what was your biggest breakthrough in your career? It's a good question. It's unscripted, so I'm thinking.
Take your time.
Taking my time. So, we talked about when we went to Lansing, Michigan, and we had that. That was employee management was a huge struggle of mine. Huge struggle. I would hire and fire people for no reason, and now it appears that someone else has taken that role. But what we can say is that one of my biggest, I'll say one of my biggest fulfilling moments is when you have your first repeat customer. In this business, now we always have repeat customers, right? In bail bonds, that happens all the time. But here, when I came to STI, my first accomplishment, in my eyes, no one else gave a shit, but in my eyes,
right,
my first accomplishment was having that client come back for more. That allowed me, it really empowers your inner soul that you're doing something right. I don't need anybody to tell me, Dan, you're awesome. I just need a client to come back. Because with this client, and for confidentiality purposes, I'm not supposed to say their name, but for this client, it was a pretty big deal. And there were times where equally we had fucked up. We shit the bed on that one. But we were able to clean it up. We were able to spin it. It had a great outcome. But deep down inside, I thought, oh God, I'm done. Never again in this industry will I ever be called upon. You know, the industry that they were in. And it was something, it was a while. It took long enough for me to forget it. And they called me on the phone. And they called me on my cell. So if you have my cell phone number, that means I really like you. And you can call me whenever you want to.
Appreciate it.
Not everybody gets that. I'm just going to tell you right now. You can call the office, any of them, and they will get in touch with me. When they call you back on your cell phone, and you're like, what? No way. They're going to sue me, right? That's the first thing. They're going to sue the shit out of me. So I answer the phone. Hey, Dan, I have this problem. Can you fix it? Now, this person had been talking for the next 15 minutes. I had no idea what they had said. Thank God it was on speakerphone and somebody was taking notes. Because the whole time I was embracing that I had succeeded with that person. That my thought process, you always want validation from somebody. We all want validation from a lot of people. And I had really been validated. This was a couple years ago, but I had really been validated by my work. And what I wanted to do is when they called me back, they were willing to pay more than they ever had before. They were willing to be more open and to their problems and to our advice. And so I would say that was one of my biggest breakthroughs, if you will, for myself personally.
Absolutely.
For business, I can't tell you. You're going to have to talk to my bosses about that. They'll be able to tell you. But I know we already talked about the other thing. We have to leave that off the air. But, we have to leave that off the air. But, it was empowering for me to know that the way I do things, or whether it's my leadership style or my management style or just the way I tell people how it is, right? Because you know me, I'm going to tell you how it is.
Right.
I'll sugarcoat you if you need it, if you're one of those people I think is going to fall off a cliff, okay? I will sugarcoat you, and we're going to talk about this in a chair with some hot cocoa and fluffy bunnies. But if you're not that type of person, I'm going to give it to you straight. And there were a few times in that situation, the first situation, where I had to get you straight. Right. I had to tell you what the reality of the situation is. But when you called me back, man, that felt so good. It felt so empowering because now I know the way that I do things works. Does that make sense? And it's a life cycle, right? So in this business, it's by threes. I've always said that. It's amazing, but it's by threes. Either 3 days, 3 weeks, or 3 months. Okay? And that's it. I know it's crazy, but there are some seeds that I plant, and it's always in that close to 3 and 3 month mark that the seed starts to grow. Hey, Dave, we had this conversation, whatever. Oh, yeah, Mr. So-and-so that owns all these things. Yes, I do remember that. How can I help you? Oh, yeah, well, Dan, we're ready to move forward. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So when that cycle came up, and I knew because I've been tracking, but when the cycle came up, I was empowered by that moment to say, wow, not only does my little cycle theory work, but what I do works. It's important for small businesses to manage that, to manage what we're doing, manage those successes and those failures, write them down, remember them, so when they come back to you, whether it's buying a product, whether it's buying a service, or whether it's, I don't want to say buying you, that sounds wrong, but whether it's buying one of those two things, then it's important for you to feel validated and empowered. There's an epidemic that's going around that I used to believe in, that I wasn't good enough to move to the next level or get a promotion or get this type of bonus because this person said I wasn't good enough. Right. Or didn't say that I was good enough. It's not that they said I wasn't, it's they didn't say that I was. Does that make sense? So there's an epidemic now that is canceling this. It is completely throwing it back into the Atlantic and saying that we can self-validate. Now, it's a little narcissistic if you ask me, but that's okay. I like that personality. But there is an epidemic that I'm going to have to support, guys. I'm going to have to push this through. Because I've had people say, oh my God, you're awesome. You're so great. But there's nothing like having a problem, fixing a problem, being concerned about that problem, and those people calling you back. Those people buying what you sell. That's the best self-validation. Because those people aren't going to tell you you're awesome. You by yourself in your own psyche have told yourself you're awesome because you yourself thought it would never happen again. Mm. And it did happen again. So the other side of you says, haha, I win. Right. I am awesome. I am great, or whatever you tell yourself when you're in the shower. So, to answer, we have to empower ourselves. You know, there'll be people who will tell you, Dan did X, Y, Z. I have 10 lawyers that I can get you on the phone with right now who are saying, Dan's made me 50, 60 grand a year. Well, that's true. I do. In those days and even now. But the self-validating, when that person calls you, and I know I keep saying it, but that's because it's amazing. Mm-hmm. But when they call you and say, hey, can you help me again? Remember this last time where we did X, Y, Z? Right? And your heart's like, oh shit, I'm getting sued, right? And then they're like, it's kind of the same situation, but I need you again. You did awesome. Or I'll pay you more money. Whatever it is. Right. That self-validating factor in that equation, in my opinion, is the bottom line. Mm-hmm. It is the bottom line.
Awesome. So if we go back to where you was talking about the marketing company, so charging you $17,000 for those 3 months. Obviously, somebody in small business may not have the money to do that, but no. You also said that there are different components of business that you have to now do. So even if you're a landscaper or you bake cakes, like that's your vein, but you also, as a business owner, you have to worry about marketing, you have to worry about sales, you have to worry about payroll, to your point. So how do you, or what advice would you give to a business owner to help duplicate themselves besides the obvious hiring someone? And then going back to that other example where you said that if you go into work early and you leave at the same time, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that'll make a difference. How do you fill that time doing things that actually moves the needle?
Here we go. I love them. These are questions I like answering. So, how do we make it work? Right? So, the first thing I would tell you is that if you have no money, which a lot of us do starting out, if you have absolutely no money, then I'm going to go back and I'm going to tell you to be disruptive. That's what I'm going to tell you. Disruptive doesn't mean you need money. It doesn't. It absolutely does not mean that you need money. Now, there are disruptive marketers out there that got millions, and they will crush your market if they decide to walk in there. But it doesn't mean that we absolutely need thousands and thousands and thousands of jobs. Number one, money. Okay? Keep your job. Stop jumping. Unless we have 20, 30, 40,000 in the bank saved up, and this is what you're going to invest in your business for the next 6 months. That's what it really takes to turn a profit for most businesses. For 6 months, then I'm going to tell you that you need about $30,000, $40,000 in the bank. And you need to keep your job if you do not have that. Okay? Number two, once you have that, we can slowly invest incremental amounts of money. I'm not talking about 6,000, 7,000 at a time. I'm talking hundreds, less than that. Okay? You have to be able to have a reputation. Mm-hmm. Social media is free. That Periscope, because we're talking about not having 17 grand for, I guess, people in Bangladesh to call the United States. I don't know what they wanted. But what I can tell you is that the best way to do it is social media if you have no money. Periscope. That first week, remember I told you, I can't tell you how many clients I landed off of Periscope in 1 week. Me, personally, not this Dan, landed clients that week, personally, off of Periscope. How much did I pay? I don't know. Whatever my hourly rate is by the 15-minute increment, because that's how long it took me to set up the Periscope, was 15 minutes. So that's what it cost me, okay, to do the math. So if we can use what we have, take it back to survival skills. We all have a lot. We all have a lot. There are those that are word of mouth. Now, 9 times out of 10, especially for like lawyers, they really don't have a lot of money. I know because I would hire them at $35,000 and $40,000 a year, and they're like doing 20 cases a day. Okay. when they break out on their own, they don't have a lot of money. Here's what they can do, though. You can tell people who are familiar with your industry and your services that you're on your own. A lot of people that start businesses have already been in that business before. They have already served, and we don't think about this. We don't. We are so nuclear to the idea that it's hard, that it's difficult. We're so nuclear to the idea that we need, like you just said, 10 and 15 grand to do one or two things. No. There are plenty of people who run businesses and they work their full-time job all the time, right or wrong. Mm-hmm. So what we can do here is use the resources that we have around us. One of those being social media, but another important one is having the clients you've already served. If you have a non-disclosure agreement or non-compete agreement with the organization that you're with right now, then study it, get legal advice and counsel, and make your move. If you can legally do so, when you leave that occupation, tell your former clients. Lawyers are required to do this, actually. Consultants as well. If we leave a firm and go somewhere, you are required to tell the clients that you have on retainer, that you're assigned to. You're required to tell them that you are leaving. You'd be more than happy to take their case so they can stay with the firm. 9 times out of 10, what do? They go with the person that left because that's who's most involved in their case. So we can use the resources that are around us. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. You're going to need the business cards. I don't know if they would be used as awesome advertisement, but I do know that what we can do is that we can use the business cards and the flyers, minimal expense, minimal cost. We can use YouTube, Facebook, social media, Twitter, Periscope. We can use those things to hammer down the resources that we have and market our business. Again, there's no reason I'm going to tell a client to pay $17,000 for people to call random people and ask about their business. No, that's crazy. I'd rather invest incremental amounts of money in a marketing campaign or an ad campaign and see results incrementally. The challenge that we have is the culture nationwide. Oh, that costs too much. Oh, it's this, it's that. It does not cost a lot to look like a company. Get rid of the @Gmail. Get rid of the @Yahoo. Those are great, profitable stocks. Those are great, profitable companies. They are not great and profitable business attractions. If you put @gmail.com on your email, I promise you I ain't going to email you nothing. @Yahoo, @whatever. It costs $20 a year to get a domain. If you don't have $20 a year, don't start. Don't start a business. You can get a domain. Right? I mean, $20 a year. Get over yourself, right? So it's $20 a year to get that done, right? With the business cards and the flyers, maybe $50. What is that? $70. Thank you. $70 to make yourself look like something. You know what I mean? To make yourself... A lot of products, and more or less on the services side, but the product side, if you walk up to somebody with your product, they're not going to look at your website. They already saw the product. Mm-hmm. At that moment, in 10 seconds, they've decided whether to buy or not. So why did I just spend 17 grand? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So it doesn't take a lot of money. The bottom line here, Jeneé, is that we have to use the resources that we have. Right. We didn't all become millionaires overnight. We didn't all become 100,000aires overnight. We didn't all turn a profit overnight. It takes time. Are you willing to invest that time? right? People come in here and they say, all right, I'm excited to make money in a week. Oh. First of all, there's not one advertisement in all of STI Group that ever said that. Number 2, you tell me who told you that, they'll be fired. Number 3, don't set that expectation. It takes time. Marketing, AdWords, SEO work.
Right.
Takes time. You're not going to see those results on Google Analytics anytime soon. Quickest will be a week.
That's how they report.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. That's how, I mean, quickest will be a week. So we have to take time in what we're doing, but it doesn't have to take a lot of money. Absolutely not. I can count on my hands, literally, the times that a business has come in here and laid down 15 and 20 grand. In my entire tenure, I can count on my hands. And they said, Dan, build my business. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
For those who are coming in with 100 or 200 or whatever, not 10 and 15, 20,000. For those that are coming in without that, not that, those things are going to take time. You know what I mean? Of course. Do we have payment plans available? Absolutely. I don't expect any person to walk in here that wants to own a small business with 20 grand. When I get that, I go out and have a drink. I'm excited. That was less paperwork I got to do. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
But there are those businesses that don't have that, and we understand it. We understand it. We're going to guide you through, step by step, what has to be done. It's not rocket science. You have to know how to do it, though. That's the, again, like you were saying, practitioner to owner, right? Are you running your business like a firm, or are you running your business like a factory? Great. Do you operate as a firm or a factory? Right? Quality over quantity, quantity over quality. I will always promote 100%. You can get mad. Quantity over quality. All day, every day. Especially starting out. All day, every day. Those are the most crucial times in your business career. The life cycle of the business. We can use today's genre and culture of low expectations. A lot of people have low expectations. If you go to a fast food restaurant, you want to know pickles, and you get home and there's a pickle on there, are you going to drive all the way back and tell them?
No, I'm going to take it off.
You're going to take it out, put it on a napkin, throw it out, and continue to eat it.
There you go.
Does that make sense? I'm not telling you that's what you should do with every customer, but you should be concerned with making money. I'm not saying deliberately spit on their burger.
Yeah.
But I am saying that if a piece of lettuce fell off, you're going to be okay. You'll be fine. I'm telling you, if your burger's good, they're coming back. Yeah. Okay? So we can use low expectation cultures, which is everywhere. Like you just said, you throw the pickle in the trash and continue eating your sandwich, your burger. Try not to use big names. So the idea here is that we don't have to spend a lot of money in marketing, and we need to be concerned with growing our revenue as fast as possible.
Right.
In the first year, the storm's not coming. You'll be, oh my God, business is so easy, sun is shining. That's always the first year of business. Then the second year is like, oh, well, it's kind of shining and it's kind of not, and maybe in that third year, oh man, that's where things get real. And it's not that we just all of a sudden lost money. It's not that all of a sudden your clients went away. That's the year of growth. A lot of business owners don't focus or recognize that growth is happening because they are so immersed in their business. And we practice and preach this. Be immersed in your business, know everything about it. But I never tell you to take the blinders and leave them where they're at. I tell you to take the blinders off so you can see the peripheral life cycle of your business. What's going on in operations? What's going on in sales? What's going on with marketing? What's going on with admin, HR? Does that make sense?
A lot of sense.
in that third-year business, you're going to experience growth. Two things you're going to experience: death or growth. If you experience death in the third year, it's either because a new administration was sworn in, or you should have seen it your second year. People are like, oh, it's my third-year business, we're going down or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll say no, and I'll use a choice name. That's not how that works. You would have seen in year 2 that 3 was going to be this. They say, well, Dan, I didn't see it. That's because A, you didn't call me. B, you had blinders on.
You weren't looking for it.
You were not looking for it. There has to be a time where we are less focused about revenue growth and more focused on managing the revenue. There will be a time in the business cycle where you plateau. Right. You will not always be growing. You will not always be losing. Sometimes you just smooth sailing. I have a few restaurants who have some recipes. And I asked them, how many burgers in our first year business we did? I said, how many sandwiches, we'll call them that. How many sandwiches did you sell a week? This guy would have numbers. 46, 50. We did an average. Okay, so you would sell 42 of these each week. Second year business. Oh, well, we sold 64 a week. Growth, right? Had some management problems, but overall revenue, growth. In our third year, damn, we're still in the 60s. What happened? We almost doubled last time, right? From 40 to 60, almost doubling. And now we're at 60. That's okay. We can maintain. If your culture around you is not ready for change, right? Systemic, economic, social, I don't care. If they're not ready for change, they still love you. So they give you the same amount of money. You know what I mean? Businesses cannot always continually grow. A lot of small businesses out there, they think this way. They operate in this way that you always have to continually grow. That's not true. There are businesses that we've seen that have maintained for 20 and 30 years and plateaued for 10. They've plateaued for 10 years, never saw loss or growth, they just maintained. That is okay if you don't want to make a jump. There's a difference, folks. Oh, I just want to make money. Oh, okay. Is $100,000 a year for the rest of your life okay? Yeah, Dan, that's great. Ooh, you suck. You suck. I got 5 jobs right now you can do for the rest of your life. You see what I'm saying? And so to answer it, it doesn't have to be a lot of money. It doesn't always have to be growth. Doesn't always have to be, oh, well, Dan, I don't have 15 grand. That's okay. You don't need it. I still make you money. I will still make you money. If not, look at the signs. Money back guarantee. If I don't make you money, and I know because I see your books, if I don't make you money, I give you money back. Simple as that. Can't beat it. If I don't make you money, if nobody in this office makes you, I say I. But if we don't make you money, I gotta stop that. People will get mad, or they probably email it now. But if we don't make money, you money, then your money goes back. Your money's given back. And I will tell you, I've never done it. Awesome. And this guarantee has been in place since before I came along. And as partners, managing partners, we have to promote that. So, everybody knows it. I've never given a dime. Not once. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Awesome. You gave a dime with that Chick-fil-A. That was pretty good. I appreciate it.
I did. I gave back, didn't I?
Do we have any questions out there for Dan? No? Okay. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Feel free to DM Dan or myself. We'll be happy to answer your questions offline. For those of you catching the replay, we want to thank you again for tuning in. Hope this has been helpful. I know I learned some things today.
I definitely learned some things. Absolutely, man.
So did I.
And I don't know, T, if you had any last questions to bring us home.
I just want to say I really appreciate your time, Dan.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
It has been a blast. We had some Chick-fil-A and some Arnold Palmer and some good conversation. Good conversation.
Absolutely, man. Very valuable information.
Yeah. So look for this on YouTube. Thank you all again, and we will talk to you soon.